Alright guys, hope you're doing well. Haven't really done a haul video in a long time. I did an FBA one a while back. I'm more interested in the what sold videos, but this is kind of a haul video I'm going to do as I go around today. I'm going to hit a couple yard sales. I've wanted to do some more clothes, not so much because I want to focus on clothes, but just because I want to have a variety of stuff. And clothes have done decent for me, but because of how thrift stores are, the prices have gone up on them to where I don't want to risk that much because I don't know enough about them. So one brand I know that always has done good for me, and I have resold a few pairs, is Levi's. Good quality Levi's. So the other reason I do my videos in my car, because I live in a very small house, and with a son running around and my wife, between everything, like my workspace is basically my living room, so it's hard to find places without distraction. Have the bull mastiff crawling all over me as I'm trying to do a video. So anyway, I got these for just over $1 a pair because I got 7 pairs for 10 bucks. But I got these Levi's. I've never seen this tag before, but I don't really look on women's jeans that much. So these are a women's jean. Levi's. Oh, I thought these had a tag inside. Anyway, they're like a slim fit Levi. All these are in pretty good shape because they even still have the stitch in the back where this where the other tag was. These are another pair of Levi's. They're black with the black label. These ones are a Levi legging, and yeah, size isn't on here, I'll have to look it up. Oh yeah, waist 30, length 32. I've mainly been sticking to men's clothes because that's what I know. So this is I've wanted to do jeans, but I go to my Savers and the thrift stores up here and they want $8-9 a pair, which, I mean, if these go for $8 or $9 a pair, then I'm breaking even basically. You know, I'll make a couple dollars, but nothing to write home about. So these are 512 slim fits, size 8 misses, kind of a dark blue color. Got those ones. And then these are 550 slim fits, size 10, and these are my favorite color, Levi's, kind of the old school distressed blue. And these are all, I mean, you can tell they've been worn, but they're not used at all. So these are 511s, size 10 regulars, 25s, 25s, and they're this newer style stretch skinny jean, which I hate, but somebody likes it. And then these are size 9 juniors. These are another Levi stretch jean. They're low rise to the point that they don't have a tag on the waist. They just have the Levi's tag here and the other one. And then the one that I really liked, I would kill to find these in my size again. These are again women's. But my favorite brand, personal favorite brand of jeans is Lucky Brand. I had 2 pairs that I found on clearance at a store. I think I paid 15 bucks for them one time, and I wore those till they were like threadbare. And Lucky, from what I've seen on the sold listings, sells pretty good. So hoping to get a decent amount for those. Didn't really comp them while I was there just because I have been looking at the thrift stores, like I said, for jeans, but I only want to be in them about $1. And so I walked up, I found 10 of them, they had a bunch of jeans, but the ones that were, I only picked the ones that were in really good shape. She said $2 a piece. I said, I got 7 pairs, would you take 10? And she, okay. So like I said, just over $1 a pair, and I will see what happens once I list those. Clothing hasn't been moving super fast for me, which I guess when you're talking sizes and the right buyers, it's just kind of a guessing, not a guessing game, but you know, find the right brands and Hopefully you'll have enough following that they'll sell, but I think the more clothes you have in inventory, the better off you are. But at these, I mean, I have no problem putting in, I'll list them, probably let them set for 60 days, kind of a set it, forget it, see what happens. And then, like I said, because I'm just learning the clothing part of it. And then I will, if I need to blow them out, because I don't want to store a ton of jeans, depending on how the women's jeans go, then what I will do is just put them up for 99-cent auction, put an extra $1 in the handling to cover my cost, and blow them out. And Levi's aren't going to sit around at a 99-cent auction with a couple dollars for shipping. So anyway, there's an estate sale that looks pretty curious. I'm not real comfortable or set up to film while I'm there, so I don't know that I'll do any video while I'm there, but if I do get anything, I will obviously show it to you guys. And then hopefully you'll see some of this stuff in the what sold video. I have had a couple sales today, so that'll be in there. I'll do one at the end of the month, so we will talk to you guys soon. Hey guys, so stopped at a Savers. The way that I source right now, I'll talk about it in another video too, but I kind of block out my time based on what I have going with my other job. And I travel quite a bit up and down within about a probably 60 mile radius of where I live. So if I'm somewhere I haven't been, I try to find the Savers, local thrift stores, things like that. Sometimes it's great, sometimes it doesn't work. So just an idea to remember to, just because one thing doesn't work doesn't mean you want to write it all off. But the big chain thrift stores seem to be catching on to value, and some of them go overboard. If I would have went to the shoe section first in this one, which I picked up a couple pair of Doc Martens the other day, but I haven't got into shoes much at all. If I would have went there first, I'll put the picture up here. They had a pair of Steve Madden shoes, and they were beat. Like, you could tell they were high quality, but they were beat. They had a tag on them, $49.99. So generally, I kind of made a quick look through everything, and then I go to the men's shirts. And I'm so picky with men's clothing, just because, like I said, I'm just getting into it. I generally only go with stuff that's my size, because then I find some stuff that I would use. And it has to be pretty high quality or dirt cheap and good quality. So all I got in there, because we're talking if it had a Quicksilver or Tony Hawk or Polo or Eddie Bauer tag on it, it's like they didn't care what it was. It was $10, $10. There were so many t-shirts and polo shirts that were $10. It was ridiculous. And I mean, I'm in a nicer area of my town, but it's not that crazy. So anyway, so I got this Texas Longhorns shirt, and the only reason I got it, it's good condition. It's a popular team. It looks like new almost. That cracked is supposed to look like that to be vintage, and it was 75 cents because it was on a silver tag, half off. The other one, this is an LL Bean polo shirt. This one, silver tag too, so I ended up into it $1.25. So I spent $2 and some cents with tax out there. So right now it's a Friday. My Saturdays are usually pretty busy, so I don't get to do yard sales. There's a big community yard sale going on not too far from me. So I'm going to try and rearrange stuff so I can go to that tomorrow. Sourcing, I honestly have a bunch of my own stuff I need to photograph and get rid of. But it's hard to not source when the season is here. So that's what I'm kind of looking at. I'm headed to an estate sale now, which the only other estate sale I've gone to, I hear about estate sales. They're not as popular in my area. It's not to say they don't happen, obviously, but they are not near as popular in my area as they are in some. So they're kind of few and far between for me. So I'm going to go to this one. The only other one I've been to, I mentioned it in one of my previous videos, but like they actually had pieces of paper on the underneath the items that said eBay price, and then right underneath that, you only pay, and it had their price. Well, their price was a couple dollars less than the eBay price. You know, huge sets of dishes that would be, I mean, a nightmare to ship and sell on eBay. And I mean, it was nice, you know, nice dishes, but yeah, they had, and I double checked them. I pulled a couple up, and it's like, yeah, they looked them up on eBay. But I mean, whoever's selling that on eBay, either they've had it for forever and they're just selling it as their own, or they bought it for a quarter of what they're selling it for, because it's going to be such a nightmare to package and ship and do all that. And there's just not enough money in it to store it and everything. So I mean, we're talking, you know, they had complete sets like serving for 10 or 12, and they were asking, you know, eBay price $300, and there were sold listings, you know, in the $200 to $300 range, but then they wanted, you know, $225, and they would not move on anything, which essentially is just a big yard sale. This one that I'm going to, that one was just an estate sale run by the family. This one is actually an estate sale that's run by a estate company. So we'll see if that's a little different and I get a different experience. Because so far, you know, it just hasn't been great. I'm finding a few things here and there. The shirts I did, or the jeans I did earlier in the video, that was one of those yard sales where the people were definitely willing to deal, but they just didn't have a lot of stuff that I was looking for. So finding that good mix. But when you're just getting started, I think it is better to be a little more picky than to just shotgun it and, you know, waste a bunch of money, especially if you're part-time. So you can get that built up. On my sold videos, you'll see I shared the spreadsheet that I use to track everything. And so far, since I started really pushing eBay, I'm into it about, I want to say $400 and some in inventory. If everything's sold for my prices that I was asking, I have about just shy of $4,000 worth of inventory. So I mean, even if, you know, let's say I did best case offer, a sale 50% off to blow everything out, you know, I'm $2,000 on a $400 investment. Now that $400 investment, the caveat to that is, right now I'm about at the break-even point of what I've spent versus what I've sold. So that snowball's already kind of rolling. On my spreadsheet, it looks a little different because I have some costs rolled into those that I actually did for some stuff that I sent into Amazon FBA that actually is all sold already. So it's a little misleading, but kind of shows the potential that's there that I've talked about before. But yeah, some of your bigger thrift stores, if your area, my area, they're called Savers. Your area, the company Value Village, Goodwill, things like that. They've started to, I think, sell some of that stuff themselves online, and then they've also just decided to price some of that spendy stuff high, or, you know, the nicer stuff high in order to get more money out of it. But yeah, it's just, like I said, some of it's ridiculous. I'll put that other pair of shoes in there, but yeah, they just had these insanely high prices for, I mean, all these Nikes that were just hammered were, you know, $18, $20 still, $19.99. So maybe people are buying them at that, but I don't know. I mean, there's no way you'd sell them even on eBay for what you would pay for them right there, so it's not worth it. And I'm not saying don't go to thrift stores, because I mean, the other day I went and I found, I didn't do a haul video, but I've done some of the solds, And you know, I found a bunch of polo shirts that were real nice. Orvis, Columbia. I didn't pick up the Patagonia ones, they were too much, but Orvis and Columbia that I picked up for, you know, $1 or $2 each, and they're slowly selling for 20 bucks a piece. And like today, I know that shirt, the Texas shirt, will sell for sure, and it's only 75 cents, but there's just, to maximize your time, obviously you need to be able to find a bulk of items in one location, not just one or two here and there, to get to any kind of volume in your eBay store. And it's getting a little difficult because reselling has gotten popular, and so, you know, these stores are obviously catching on a little bit, and I don't mind paying a little extra for some stuff if it's high quality and, you know, ready to resell. But they can also, which this one, honestly, as far as resellers go, these guys have priced themselves out of the market. But again, I've always said it's not easy, and there's a little bit of a fad to reselling, I think. So I'm pretty sure, you know, the people that are just into it part-time and aren't gonna really push it, as some of those kind of get pushed out because they're not making enough, then, you know, then that just creates more for us in the long run. But as a couple people have brought out, especially like Jay and Ryan, there's such a glut of used overstock stuff in this country. It's not like there's a shortage of supply. So I gotta fill up, and then I'm gonna head to that estate sale. So I'll talk to you guys after that. So struck out at estate sales again. I'm gonna keep trying. I'll find one eventually, but it was like basically a yard sale that the family had obviously taken the majority of the stuff, and then it was kind of just the weird stuff left over. So it just doesn't, like I said, doesn't seem to be a huge thing in my area. Even the ones that post a bunch of pictures, they just don't seem like the pictures, they don't seem like there's a ton of stuff there. So I don't know, maybe it's a regional thing. If anybody out here is west of, say, Colorado, I'm in Utah, so anything west of the Mississippi, it's a whole nother world out here versus the East Coast. So it's just, California, maybe denser populated areas, but yeah, I mean, there was a couple porcelain figurines there that were kind of, I would say, risque would be the way to describe them. They were kind of cool, but they were really well done, Italian. Looked them up and could have made some money on them. So I went back, and they sell for about 200 bucks on eBay, comparable ones, and they had them for 65 a piece. And the guy said they were willing to do some deals, so I went down back and looked at them after I kind of figured it out. But then I got looking, and they were really, really well done, to the point that, like, one was a lady sitting on a chair holding the phone, but then her other hand was stretched out, and it used to have a porcelain candy in the hand, and her fingers were broke off because the fingers were just, I don't even know how to describe something that's that thin. Like, imagine pencil lead, like her fingers were that tiny because it was really fine porcelain. And so they were broke to where I didn't feel like, even on eBay they had some that showed they were selling as damaged, but just not something I want to play with. So yeah, still struck out at estate sales. Waiting to find one of those estate sales where I'm there on the last day and they just have huge box of, you know, ephemera, paper, postcards and stuff like that I can just buy for $5, list, and have pay me throughout the next 10 years. But haven't found it yet, so I'll keep looking. But I guess that's what it is you just got to keep sourcing, kind of managing time. I'll do that on one of my upcoming starting videos. Excuse me, not enough caffeine today, I guess. One of my starting videos, I'll try and do a set about how I block out time, but like today, it's frustrating when you spend time at the estate sale and there's, basically nothing out of it, and spend time at that Savers and get 2 items that are maybe, I'll probably make $8 an item on them. But then I look and, I had a marketing meeting this morning that I'll do pretty well on. Got some good things going there, but then the other portion that makes up for it is my, what am I trying to say? Oh, those jeans I showed. If I can get, say, between 15 and 20 bucks a pair, it means I'll make between 10 and 15 a pair after fees. So, that's $70. So, if I can, literally, I probably only spent half a day, and if I can find enough where I can make $100, I'd rather it be more in the 200 range, but it's not a total wash. So, in a way, I feel like I got skunked, but in another way, it's not bad. So, just look more next time. So, till next time, keep sourcing. If you like these videos, hit the thumbs up. If you got comments or suggestions, put them down below. I gotta get in here and package up a couple items that sold today that was good and go from there. So, have a great one.